Hi, Brandon Hardison for Shopsmart Autos. Hey, today we're going to let you, the consumer, know, taking forward from the product presentation walk around, or very simply, the walk around as it's called. My thing to you is that if someone did not ask you some good high gain questions about your needs, your wants, the things that you really need to have in a vehicle, and do a feature advantage benefit presentation of how your pain is going to be overcome by their solution, I wouldn't go on a demo ride. They haven't done their job. In other words, they weren't listening to you when they were asking the question. Just a tip. But let's say they did a good job as a professional. Now it's time for the demonstration drive. Many of you have been on demonstration drives. You know what it should be. But to us at ShopSmart Autos, the use of pressure and aggressive sales tactics, I should say, is still being taught and practiced by many salespeople, despite the fact that customers clearly they don't want to be treated that way. You came to buy a vehicle. Some of the very tactics that are being used have a negative impact, not only on the dealership, but as the industry as a whole. And with the public often reacting by telling everybody in the social world about their experience. So here's what I would suggest: find a sales consultant that understands putting you first is what the ultimate goal is, especially those senior salespeople who've been around for a while. At the same time, logic will dictate that experience should be the best way to sell, but I'm just saying sometimes some of the older folks are hard to change their habits, if you will. But if we can eliminate that as a good, smart car shopper and say no when it's time to say no and leave, better chances are you're going to get to what you're looking for as far as your purchasing needs. But the demonstration drive should be one of the best pleasurable experiences in the whole automotive buying process. So, why do we look at this so well? Usually, we're almost at the middle of this process exchange, this buying exchange, this time of investment that you have made to go to the dealership. What's pretty much left are going to be the numbers, if you will. So we want to make sure that the salesperson is giving us a truly enjoyable driving experience during this demo ride. This method is not being taught that well at many dealerships. Here's what I mean, especially if you purchased a vehicle before. Usually they have a planned demo route. They already know what's mapped out. They already know how long it should take and get back to the dealership. By insurance reasons, many times they must drive the vehicle off the lot first. So we have jobs, we have rules and regulations, so I can understand that. But when it's time to exchange and you drive, usually, once again, it's a planned route. Well, here's my question: what happens if that planned route doesn't give you everything that you're looking for during that demo ride. Example, there's no hairpin turns so you can see how it feels when it's cornering. There's no uneven or potholes so I can see how the cabin feels when the vehicle goes over it. Is there a place where I could at least accelerate a little bit? Don't have to be long, but I just want to hear the performance of the vehicle. If you're not getting that, then that's not a good, pleasurable demo ride. The next time you go to a dealership, you, when you get behind the wheel, let the salesperson know you don't have to tell me how to get back to the dealership. I want to go out on a ride. And you drive where you want to drive. Let me repeat that again. You drive where you want to drive. Now, many dealerships don't do that, but you're trying to get the feel. You're trying to imagine yourself going to work, going to your social order, going to see your friends. And let's face it, on a planned route, that's hard to do. So, next time you go on a demo ride, you take the vehicle where you want to go. Now, if you're near a major interstate, doesn't have to be a big city, but let's make sure that that interstate doesn't have any congestion or construction or accidents, because now that defeats the purpose if you wanted to get on the highway and punch it a little bit. Just have the sales consultant who's sitting on the other side or in the back. If you have another person with you, they should be sitting in the back with their mouth closed. Have them just bring up on Google and let's see what's going on for the next two exits, if you will. That should give you enough time to see how the performance goes with that vehicle. But you drive it. I'm not trying to catch them off guard or anything. You just want a decent demo ride. Now, I did say something else, and I told you that salesperson needs to be quiet. How many times have you been on a demo ride buying a vehicle and that salesperson's like a gnat talking about everything except for the car? About your kids, their kids, baseball, sports, politics. You want to feel, experience the vehicle. If that salesperson doesn't understand buying signals that you need to take mental ownership, that's the only way by you experiencing it, then I would not deal with that salesperson when I get back from the demo ride. The fact is that the Creator gave us all two ears, one mouth. A good professional salesperson will shut their mouth. If you have a question, sure, they'll address it. If you don't have a question, they should keep their mouth shut so you can enjoy the ride. Now, think about it. How would you feel if a professional salesperson was allowing you to drive the vehicle that you want to take home and you're considering, and you can take it where you want to go, not a planned route, and they have their mouths shut? So you and your significant other, you and your neighbor, whoever you're with, can enjoy the ride. That's the challenge that we run into, especially today at our dealerships. Now, with this virus, many times dealerships will let you go out on your own. But If you don't know some of the technology, yeah, we're missing it out. That's why the product presentation before you go on the demo ride is so important. Now, if some of this makes sense to you, come back again for another installment of Shopsmart Autos. Brandon Hardison, as always, imparting. You go on out and make it a champion day.